All right, so here's the deal, guys. We're going to have to find all three angles for your triangle and all three sides that go with it. Okay? Each problem will give you three of the answers. You really only got to find the other three. All right, phone should be off your desk. Number one, what do they give us? They give us angle A, capital A is 39 degrees. 39 degrees and 12 minutes.
Wait, how do you know?
Because I'm looking at number one on the paper. It's showing you. And little b is 2.1. Does everybody see where I got those answers from? Okay. All right, something else they are giving us on every single problem. Look at angle C. How much is it going to be on every problem? 90 degrees. Every problem is going to be 90 degrees. All right, so again, they are giving us three answers. We have to find the other three. All right, watch this. Let me make something up here for us. If we have a triangle and it's 30 degrees here, 45 here, how would I find the missing angle? Right. You guys should know this back from geometry. All triangles add up, where the three angles add up to 180 degrees. So if we are missing just one angle, this is going to be really easy. You take 180, subtract 90, and subtract 39 degrees, 12 minutes in your calculator. It will give you that missing angle right there. So everybody right now, take your calculator. Let's do that. Haley, I want you to check Tiffany as she 39 degrees, 12 minutes. Make sure she knows where the button is. 180 minus 90.
50 minutes, 48 seconds.
Minus 39 degrees, 12 minutes. All right, so everybody should get 50.8, correct? Now, Amelia, since they've got their answer in degrees and minutes, we have to write that answer in degrees and minutes. So hit your degrees, minutes, and second button. I got 50 degrees, 48 minutes for that answer. You ready? Second angle gives you all these options. We want number 6. I think you saw us do that. You see us do that? Okay. All right, Georgia, we good on that? It would help, Georgia, to have your calculator open. A big help. Everybody else is good. Emma? Skylar's good? All right, let's go to the other side now. All right, so here's the deal on the other column. You guys have to know which side on the triangle 2.1 has to be written on. How do you know? Good. Grant says it's got to be written on the bottom. Does everybody understand why it has to be written on the bottom? Because side B is across from the angle B. So you find the capital B and little b is across from it. Okay? We're good there. All right, something else we have to decide. When you start looking for opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse, all that stuff we did last week, you could start from A or B. Why can't I start looking from angle C? Because it's a right angle. You can't look from angle C. It has to be A or B. For all of our problems we're going to do in class, CJ, everybody's going to start at angle A every time. Do y'all understand? I don't want y'all to decide between A and B. I'm deciding for you. Everybody's going to start at angle A on every single problem. All right, so now we're going to use the trig function to find our answer. All right, so if I'm looking from angle A, what's this side right here? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? That's the opposite side. Everybody knows this is the hypotenuse side because it's across from the right angle. So 2.1 has to be on which side? Adjacent. Does everybody understand that? 2.1 has to be on the adjacent side. All right? Pick a formula up here that's got adjacent in it so we can use cosine. Cosine. All right, let's use cosine. Cosine of 39 degrees, 12 minutes equals. Write that down. Why are we writing in 39 degrees, 12 minutes? I'll say it for the third time because we're going to use angle A to start our problem every time. Alright, CJ, what does it say the formula is for cosine? What goes on top?
I don't know.
You don't have your formulas written down?
Adjacent.
Alright, so adjacent goes on
CJ,
top,
you're
so
indoors
2.1.
now. It's okay to take them off.
No.
2.1 goes on top. Focus, guys, I'm rolling here. Focus.
You
I'm
go
doing a
back.
good job for you, Georgia. She is gone.
She's gone.
Okay. Now, what's the bottom of the formula for cosine? You said adjacent over what? Hypotenuse, okay? The hypotenuse, guys, doesn't have anything on it, so we'll write little c right there because it's across from big C. I need everybody to write that down.
So does that give us a little C?
Mm-hmm.
And then.
I'm going to show you what to punch in your calculator now. This is the hardest part. Learning how to write this equation is the hardest part of the whole problem. After this, it's easy. Now look, y'all just watch for a second. That would be over 1, right?
Yep.
So we would have to cross, multiply, and divide. But I'm going to show y'all a shortcut so we don't have to go through all those steps. All right, when you cross, multiply, and divide, all that's going to happen is the cosine of 3912 is going to change places with the c. It's going to be this, 2.1 over cosine of 39 degrees 12 minutes. That's all that's going to happen when you cross multiply. So from now on, Hunter, when the c's on the bottom, I just want you to trade places and put it in your calculator.
You know, I'm not liking the blue. It's really ruining the Christmas color thing we had going on.
I'll try to do better.
Okay, thank you.
My mama has our Christmas tree up.
2.1 over cosine of 39 degrees 12 minutes. I got 2.7. Did everybody get 2.7? Say it. Well, look, guys, here's my question. Do I put 2.7 in this spot or in this spot?
Little C.
Yeah, little c, because I had little c in my formula. 2.7 goes down here. All right, Hunter, we good?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now, last step is the easiest step. Since I'm finding one of these missing sides now, since I have a right triangle, all we got to do now is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you won't even have to write anything down. Watch this. My a squared plus 2.1 squared equals 2.7 squared. That's what it would look like if you wrote it down, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows we're going to have to move over 2.1 squared and subtract. So in our calculator right now, everybody type in 2.7 squared minus 2.1 squared.
2.88.
Now take the square root of that, 2.88. What'd y'all get?
1.7.
1.7 is correct. And that is how you do one of these problems.
No.
Question?
Is that how all of them are?
No.
Or like, I mean, obviously, I get
Some are a
it,
little
right?
different.
You'll be given different
Right.
angles, but that's like the basic of it, right?
That's a basic. All right, now, one way you guys can look at your 3 answers over here in the right column and know that it's right.
I was trying to see if I could
Side
put
C,
a whole
focus,
necklace.
Georgia. Side C, guys, is the longest side. That's got to be the biggest number out of these 3 every time. If that's the biggest number, Amelia, on side C, more than likely you're going to be right. If you ever get a problem where your bigger number is up here, you messed up. And something else I got to show y'all. Notice right here, the left column, the answers are in degrees and minutes. The right column, they're decimals. That will always happen. Because the left column are angles. The right column is just sides. So if you measure something, it's going to be 3.5 inches or 3.6 inches or so. All right. Everybody good? All right, we did good on that one. Let's do another easy one. Let's go to, let's find another easy one. I guess let's go to number 2. You guys go ahead and start setting it up. I've got to erase all this so I can use my same triangle. We're doing number 2. That's no good.
For some reason, locals move a little slow today.
Hey, get it?
All right, so y'all should have little a is 9, and y'all should have capital B is 49. All right, set that up. All right, fill in your blanks, Kara.
Are you recording?
Yep.
It was like,
Does that mean I get to ask you every question, Kara, since it's cool?
No, when you say my name, it just makes me not want to.
You got 9 left on minus 9.
Alright, first thing we gotta do, guys, is the easiest answer to find. How do I find this missing angle right here? We just did it. Good, subtracting from 180. So take 180 minus 90 minus 49. Georgia, tell me what you get when you subtract these two from 180. Do 180 minus 90 minus 49. Tell me what you get. Y'all don't help her.
Well, Grant's over here to whisper the answers.
Grant,
From the river, Coach.
she's gotta learn how to do it. What you got?
He said 41.
41 is correct. Not helping, Grant. Alright, so that is the first step. Find your missing angle just by subtracting from 180. It's going to be that way every problem. Alright, now, next thing we got to do. Which side over here do I write 9 on?
You write 9 on that side.
Across from big A, capital A, is side A. So 9 goes over there. Now, either you guys have to draw a triangle for every problem, or you can just erase your numbers off the triangle they gave you. We'll use that same one every time. Good deal? Alright, any questions so far before we do our trig function? Alright, which side is the 9 on? Remember, guys, you're going to start looking from angle A every problem. So is that the opposite side, hypotenuse, or adjacent? Straight across from capital A, so that's my opposite side. So now we got to go back and pick a formula that's got the word opposite in it. Do sine? Alright, good deal. So I got-
I don't mess with the ops.
So I got sine of 41 degrees equals, write it down, sine of 41 degrees. Now y'all said the formula is opposite over hypotenuse. So my opposite goes on top, that means 9 goes on top.
Little c.
Little c goes on the bottom. I don't have a number, so put the side. Anybody got a question on that? What did I show y'all to do on the last problem when the little c's on the bottom? Yeah, just trade places with them, flip them. So you'll type in 9 over sine of 41. All right, this one's about as easy a one as I can give you. Let's type that in. 9 over sine of 41 equals 13.7. Now where does that go? Which side? Little c. How do you know? Because we had little c in our problem. 13.7 goes there. All right, how do I find the missing side? Good, Ryan. You do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but since we have 13.7, we'll do 13 points. Did you sign in? Right. Gotcha. 13.7 squared minus 9 squared. What do y'all have? I got 106.69, so let's take a square root of that, and it is 10.3. All right, so going by what I said on the last problem, can we assume this answer is right? Yes, because my side C is my biggest side, and it is my biggest number on this one, so I'm right. All right, so the first couple problems I showed you, they were the same type problems. I'm going to show you a different type on the next one. Any question on these two? Guys, the only work you really have to show me is this right here. That's all Grant and River. I got to see this on every problem. Look, Grant and River. Every problem, you got to show me that. I don't care if you show me anything else.
Are you the answer?
Well, you know, answers are a given. You got to show me that.
Oh, okay. Now you changed it up already.
All right, so I think we need to move down and do a different one, a different type problem. So let's go down to number 7.
I thought I had my name. Like
I'm going to erase all this. We're going to go to number 7.
That's your family yelling for you to wake up.
No, pull the plug. But here, hang on. Turn it
I
off.
get what you're saying. I was just wondering why you wanted to do that. I'm not that dumb, Georgia.
We're doing number 7 now. Number 7. I got to write in 21.3 here. I got to write in 26 degrees, 20 minutes here. And that's all they're giving us.
Your C's look the exact same, don't you?
So did mine.
Say it again.
Your C's look the exact same.
sure we still rolling? All right, good deal.
There you go, adding blue in the Christmas color.
All right, so Amelia,
63.7.
how do we find our missing angle right here? What do we do?
Subtract from 180.
Very good. Everybody subtract these two from 180, and let's find that missing angle. All this is calculator work.
Do you do that to the always? Because
How is it
Yep.
different?
only the B.
I always do that first if I can. If I can find the angles, I find the angles. So do 180 minus 90
Word down.
minus that angle A, which is 26 degrees and 10 minutes.
So why don't you have to put the 90 degrees, but you have to put it 26?
Good question. You only have to put the degrees symbol if it's got a minute symbol behind it. Equals. Now change that to degrees and minutes. So do boom, boom. All right, what'd y'all get? Good. Now make that degrees and minutes. Good. So when I did, I had 63 degrees, 40 minutes is what I got. Kara?
I got syntax.
Taylor?
right there.
Let's see what you did.
Do we have to put those side by side or just subtract in the middle? Just do them side by side.
Who else? All right, we're good on that. Everybody understands how to find the angles now. All right, now this one's going to be different. Let me show you how this one's different. It's not a lot different, it's just a little bit different. All right, looking from angle A now, which side do we have a number on our triangle? Opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent?
We have our hypotenuse.
We have our hypotenuse. So let's pick a formula that's got hypotenuse in it. It's got to either be sine or cosine. Let's do sine, doesn't matter. All right, so I got sine of 2620 equals, what goes on top? Opposite, right? What is on the opposite side? Nothing, so we'll just put little a. What is on the hypotenuse side? 21.3. So, how is this one set up differently from all the other ones that we've done so
We have a
far?
number up top and over the bottom.
Good. Every other problem, guys, our little a was on the bottom, and y'all know to switch it when that happens. So, Amelia, when the little a is up top, you got to enter it in the calculator differently. Here's what you do.
I went down for 5 seconds and we've gone from 3 to 7.
Well, I'll skip the other ones. I'm going to let y'all
We
do
didn't
it
do
later.
number 3, that is number 7.
So watch, when it's like this, when the A is on the top, instead of dividing by 21.3, I move it over and I times by 21.3. All right? Type that in your calculator. That will give you the answer. 21.3 times sine of 26 degrees and 20 minutes. I got 9.4. All right, where does that go? In this blank or this blank? It says little a, so 9.4's got to go up here. All right, how, using our calculator, will we find side B? Somebody tell me what to type in.
A squared.
Right, it is going to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but remember, if I write that down, look, I got 9.4 squared.
C squared minus.
Uh-huh. Y'all don't have to write this down because, look, you know you got to move the 9.4 squared over, right? So we're going to have to do 21.3 squared minus 9.4 squared. Minus 9.4 squared and find the square root of 365.33. I got 19.1. We've done. They didn't give us any angles on this one, did they? They gave us both sides. It's the sheet we had from last week. Show Brian what sheet that is. All right, so here's what we're going to do first. When they give you a problem like this, we have to do the right column first, Skylar, on this because we don't have anything over here that I can subtract from 180. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared means we're going to do 0.5 squared minus 0.4 squared Do that and let's get an answer. 0.5 squared minus 0.4 squared equals, and then take the square root. What would y'all get? I got 0.3. You can't get that in your calculator, I'll show you how I did it. You ready? CJ, you gotta do 0.5 squared minus 0.4 squared equals, and whatever you get, take the square root of it.
I didn't put the minus on.
Got a minus on that. Alright, anybody else? Sadie, we good? Tiffany, we good? Alright, now here's something else we gotta do that we haven't had to do before. We've gotta label all the sides because we've got all three numbers. Where does 0.4 go?
Alright.
0.4 goes here. 0.3 goes here. 0.5 goes here. Please label your triangle. All right, now every other problem, guys, we've only had one side with a number on it, so we had to pick a particular formula. But look, we've got every side's got a number on it this time. What does that mean? It means we can pick any formula we want. It doesn't matter. We hadn't did tangent yet. Let's do tangent. All right, so it's going to be tangent of capital A equals. Now, why am I doing capital A? I did a number every other problem because capital A this time doesn't have a number. So if it doesn't have a number, just leave it capital A. All right, now Grant said what? Say it again, Grant.
0.4 over 0.3.
He said 0.4 over 0.3. Where's he getting that from?
Opposite over adjacent.
Opposite goes on top, adjacent on bottom. He's right. All right, that's how you set this one up. Look at it. Write it down. Anybody want to guess, based on what we learned last week, what we're going to type in the calculator on this one?
Inverse.
There you go. What happens with tangent when I have to move it over? What does it become? It becomes tan negative 1, 0.4 over 0.3. Everybody type that in. Let's see what we get. Tan negative 1, 0.4 over 0.3. Now I got 53.1. Can I leave it as a decimal on this side? No. So do degrees, minutes, and seconds. I got 53 degrees and 8 minutes. Check my work, make sure y'all understand why I put 8 minutes. Y'all see why I rounded that up?
Yes.
It's got 48 after it, but since it's only 60 seconds in a minute, half of 60 is 30. So anything 30 or higher after it, you round it up.
Wait, so we might do after this versus.
Boom, boom, boom. Degrees, minutes, and seconds. Remember that?
Now we just have to subtract, which is the easy.
Yep. And the last thing is the easy part. Subtract both of these from 180, and it will give you the last answer. 180 minus 90 minus 53 degrees, 8 minutes. I'm going to guess y'all didn't do any of this last year.
No.
36, 52 is what I got.
I did not get that.
We're going to do one more problem, then we're going to go to break.
I did not get